Hello viewers, welcome back to the third episode of the week, AKC Capital's financial podcast series. Joining us once again is AKC Capital founder and director, Mr. Aditya K. Chopra. As we continue this month's theme, smart savings and debt management, today's topic is the power of compounding, start early, retire rich. Einstein called compounding the eighth wonder of the world. Someone starting rupees 10,000 monthly SIP at the age of 25 accumulates around 3.7 crore by retirement. The same person starting at the age of 35 gets rupees 1.1 crore. That's how 10-year delay costs 2.6 crores. Today we will understand how compounding works. So welcome Aditya.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shweta, for this question. So, what is compounding? In a very simple way, compounding is nothing but you are earning returns on your returns, right? And before I go to the compounding, I think the simple formula is that your future value of investments is nothing but future value equal to present value into 1 plus R, where R is the rate of interest raised to the power of n, which is n is a number of years. That's typically the compounding formula. So give an example. Let's say if you are investing 10,000 rupees at annualized rate of return of 12%. So at the end of year 1, this corpus would become 11,200. So you earned 1,200. But when you look at the second year returns, you are earning returns on not 10,000 but 11,200, and hence your returns are 1,344 per year. And when you look at over a 10-year period, this grows to 3,900 per year, and over a 20-year period, this grows to 3 lakhs per year. So you see, this is a classic way of how wealth can compound over a longer period in time. So you are making returns on the returns that you made in the previous year, and this is very different from simple interest, because in that you just earn a fixed rate of interest year on year. We took an example of 10,000. So let's say it was just for simple interest, you would be just earning 1,200 rupees per year, and same on second year. It's very different from what the compounding part we discussed in earlier part of this answer.
So show me the numbers, age 25 versus age 35.
Well, that's a good question. So let's take an example. So first we will have to assume, let's say the retirement age is 60. So when you start doing a monthly SIP of, let's say, 10,000 per month at a CAGR of 12% annualized at an age of 25 till 60, then your corpus becomes roughly 3.7 crores. And at the same time, if the person were to start doing the same investment, 10,000 per month, 12% CAGR, and then from 35 to 60, the same corpus would be around 1.1 crores. So that's a difference of roughly 2.6 crores, right? So obviously this example clearly shows that the timing of your investment is very critical in your investment decisions and your portfolio construction. To take an example further, let's say if we were to do the same investment at the age of 25 with half the corpus, which is 5,000 monthly SIP, 12% compounding, and till 60, the corpus would actually grow to 1.85 crores, which is still 50% of what in the scenario 1 when the person was investing at 10,000 per month from 25 to 60 at 12% CAGR. So what this clearly shows is that while the timing of your investments is a crucial factor, also equally important is the quantum of investments that you make. But if I were to weigh the two, I think it's the timing part which is predominantly more important than the quantum that you make. It's not to say that the quantum investment is not important, but you got to start at the right time. So start your SIP today and never postpone that decision.
So, my third question to you, if someone is 38 years old and hasn't started investing yet, is it too late for them? What would you say to them?
I think that's a good question. I think we need to understand in context of my previous answer, the second question that you had asked. So first, let's look at the data point. So here a person is 38 years of age and making a monthly SIP of 10,000 rupees per month at 12% CAGR. And you're also assuming the retirement age is 60, so you're actually looking at time span of 22 years from this time. So actually his corpus would become roughly around 87 lakhs, but it's still way off the mark, where a 25-year-old was making a similar investment and he reached 3.7 crores. So to make up for that gap, a person at 38 will actually have to make a monthly SIP of around 40,000 per month. So the point here is that every year of delay, you need to increase your SIP by 3 to 4 times to make up for that lost time. I think that's the key point here. So every year of delay, you've got to increase your SIP by 3x or 4x, 3 times or 4 times to make up for that delay. So I think that's an important point to kind of keep in mind. So my advice is that a person who's already at 38 could probably start with a slightly larger quantum of SIP, probably let's say 15 or 20,000 rupees, because he's already lost a lot of time. He started very late in the day rather than 25. And then the second thing he could do is what we say to clients is top up or increase your SIP, say by 10% every year. So if you were to follow these two pieces of advice, then he could still accumulate a corpus of 1.2 to 1.5 crores by the time he reaches 60 years of age, which is still a relatively better number than 87 lakhs, which we were looking in my previous example.
Now coming to the final question of the episode, what if someone can only invest 500 rupees per month? Should they still begin? What is your perspective on this?
Thanks for the question, and I think they should begin this investment right away, right now. Okay, to explain this further, a person who is making SIP of 500 rupees per month at 12% CAGR, let's say at the age of 25, with the retirement age being 60. So over a 35 years period of investing, this would grow to roughly around 18.5 lakhs of corpus. So you see that a total investment of 2.1 lakhs, becomes 18 lakhs, which is 9 times your amount invested over time, and that's where the growth is. And eventually, what this person can do is then eventually increase this SIP from 500 to let's say 1,000 rupees per month over the next 6 months. So over the next 3 years, you suddenly realize that this amount has become 3,000 rupees per month. So essentially, start making those incremental increases. But what is more important is get into the habit, and I'm stressing on the word habit, to start making the investments early. And let me tell you, and that's a hard fact, that a person who is waiting for that magic number of 5,000 rupees per month will never start doing that SIP or the investment process and journey. But a person who starts with 500 rupees per month and gets into that habit and eventually making those small but incremental increases which are significant will eventually become millionaires over time. That is important.